What is up, Reds? Welcome back to the Sunday Summary. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. It's been a while, but I'm glad to be back. How is everybody doing? Steve, good morning. What's going on, bro?
It has been a while. Too long. Too long. But
How
a lot
many?
of good things happening in your life, so sometimes it's good to take a break,
Yeah, exciting
you know?
stuff. I got married. Steve was there to hand over the rings. Best man that there is, right?
Let's see the
So
ring, by the way. Check that out. Wow. White
I
gold.
know. White gold.
Legendary.
I like the way it looked better.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I went with the just a yellow gold, but it's nice to have a ring, you
Yeah.
know?
I need to get it resized though, because it like slides off and on way too easily.
Yeah, it's never right at first, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean,
Even though
like, I
you
have to.
try it on and you get sized, it doesn't matter. Like a few months later when you get the actual ring, it's just not right. Like for me, it was the opposite. I couldn't get it off my finger the first night. So I started freaking out in the middle of the night and then got it situated. But it's
Yeah, no,
easier to
that's
make it bigger than smaller.
well, that was my biggest fear, was that I was gonna put it on and not be able to get it off. So, I was in the store actually when I was trying on the sizes. You know how they have the little ring where you I put it in on the they have a male side and a female side. I put it in on the female side. And so I'm sitting there and the lady's explaining to Casey and I about different rings, different sizes, and I'm like, I can't get it off. I'm like under the table, like, oh my God, they're gonna have to call like EMS to get this thing off. And luckily I ended up getting it off. But
Well, you get a
yeah,
pass because you've never done it before.
yeah,
Most
I
people
know.
haven't.
But I also want to give a special shout out to Doug. Doug is now a father. Shout out to Doug in the chat.
Yes.
And
Yes, that's right. And he has a white gold ring as well, I think he said.
he does. That's right.
Congrats, Doug.
And
I
also
have
shout out to everyone else in the chat too. Liz is in here. My mother's in here. Oyvind, Shayna, Doug. What's going on, everybody? What were you going to say, Steve?
congrats to Doug, of course. That's a blessing. And I actually have my first child coming in about 3.5 weeks or
Is that the
sooner.
first? Is that the first time you've said that on the show?
I think so. I don't know. I don't know, but it's coming soon, fast and furious.
That's pretty
So I'll be
crazy if
joining
it
you in
is.
fatherhood soon, Doug.
Yeah.
If you got any tips, hit me up.
You're going to need all the help you can get.
I'm sure I'll figure it out. But yeah, uh, nothing like just getting thrown in the fire, learning on the fly,
We
as
had
everybody
9
says.
months. You had 9 months to prepare, so there's really no excuse.
10 technically.
10 technically, yeah.
They're 10 months.
Yeah.
But it's all right. You've
Eh,
never done that before either. So
I know. First time for everything.
yeah, yeah.
Ross, what's going on? So, Steve, I know, but dude, the last show we had was the Brentford preview, I think, maybe? No, maybe Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was a while
The
ago, but
Brentford, yeah, the Brentford match was in the middle of our hiatus.
yikes.
Um,
Long time.
yeah, good win though.
It was. It was a
Brentford's
good
no
win.
slouch. They got a pretty good defense. It's a nice
But
win.
Toulouse, I want to go all the way back to Toulouse because I don't
Okay.
think we had a chance to talk about Toulouse. That may
Yeah,
have been
I mean, look,
after Nottingham.
it European matches are tough. Toulouse stinks, to be honest. So it's tough to see us lose that. But at the end of the day, like we'll still get through.
Can I?
I can't really worry about that too. We can't really worry about that too much.
But when you were watching the games, did you notice the way Toulouse played was actually kind of fun to watch?
I
Like
think
they were like
what
quick one-touch football. You know what I mean?
what I gathered from that is, and I've had this feeling a few times before, when we're playing against a team that's not going to have a ton of possession against us, when they get it and they're clinical and their passes are crisp and quick, like you said, one touch, I know it can be a tough day.
Yeah.
Those guys made almost no mistakes. Um, just their yes, it was just like such quick one touch passing, great through balls. Everybody was in the right spot at the right time. They can't defend. I mean, we still scored our fair share, of course, but um, that was that was tough for us. I mean, we've only let up 10 goals in the Premier League. We have the least amount of goals conceded in the Premier League, tied with Arsenal right now. So
It's
to
pretty
let up, what
crazy.
did we let up? 4 in that match?
3-2. But what is mind-blowing to me is the announcer said it. They've won 4 games in all competitions all year or something like that, or, since last year. Something insane in 2023, and I'm like, "We're gonna lose to this team, aren't we?"
Yeah, they
Team
stink.
that yeah. Now, I could be wrong. I want chat to correct me if I am, but Liverpool are involved in Toulouse somehow, whether it's like they're a younger brother club or there's an investment from FSG in there. I don't know. There's something involved in Toulouse. And guys, let me know what it is. But there's something there. Kind of like what Man City has going with Girona. There's something going on there. But Java
Well,
here, what's going on?
I think Klopp and their manager have some sort of relationship. Like Klopp tried to sign him, or or the other way around, something like that.
I do know they're friends or something.
Yeah, there was some sort of situation where they were going to play together and they didn't, or they played together for like a match or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter. They stink. We're going to get through. Letting up 3 goals to a bad side is never good. Um, but hey, again, it's a European night. Anything can happen. We're still sitting pretty in the Premier League, so
Yeah, and I think Doug, I forgot all about Samikas, but he was terrible that night. He says, even if we got a draw, we didn't deserve anything. Samikas was dreadful and rightly subbed at halftime. The Jota stat, we have never lost when he has scored, is over. I forgot about that stat.
well, it's still true in the Premier League. So
That's true. And
not
then
that that means much.
after that, we moved on to Brentford, I believe. I think the Brentford match was after that. I could be wrong, but 3-0 to Brentford, which was just an excellent showing and really what we should be doing every match against teams like that.
They're actually not bad.
No, no,
They're not
given
terrible.
the personnel they have, they're not bad at all, I don't think.
Yeah.
And guys, that's what it is. Redbird Capital owns Toulouse. Okay, gotcha. So same investors in both teams. Sorry, I sound really congested and I don't know why, but now the Brentford match, who scored in that match? It was what, 2 from Salah?
Jota, and I think 2 from Salah.
2 from Salah and Jota.
Jota's
And
finish. That was the screamer, right? Kinda.
no, it was a great shot. Yeah, he cut inside, finished with his right.
Yeah, he might be the best finisher on our team. The
Yeah,
more I think about it, he might be the most clinical finisher we have. He's a little sloppy at times. Like I feel like he like trips over himself like quite a bit. He's really like low to the ground when he carries the ball. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, the guy just let him cut inside, and that was just a great finish. We don't see enough of those from outside the box.
Well, we've seen more of them this year with Soboslai in the team now.
Yep,
Before that, nothing. No one could shoot.
yep, pretty much.
No one. I think that's what I like about this new team that Klopp has assembled. But Jota for me is like one of those guys that can get hot in any moment. And you're right, he is sloppy at times, but I actually think one of the sloppiest players, I don't know if anyone else sees this, but this is just the eye test, is Luis Diaz for me. Feel like Luis Diaz can either shimmy and get by you really easily, or he just like over dribbles and loses the ball.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe that's just me.
no, I mean he's a skillful player. South American. That's what they like to dribble.
No, I mean he's a great winger. I
But
mean
the reward outweighs the downside with him. And I think I read recently that Barcelona were looking at him.
Diaz.
Yeah, I
Well, I
think
know
it was
Tottenham.
Barca,
I know we stole him from Tottenham, which is legendary.
and good for him as well.
Yeah, and on the Diaz front, we just want to say, I mean, they found his dad, right? And his dad was in the stands for his 2-goal performance against, was it Argentina? Guys, who did they play? Was it Argentina or Brazil? I don't know who they played someone. But I mean, Steve, I don't know. You've seen the pictures, man. That's just like heartwarming stuff, bro. But I also find myself thinking, This guy was kidnapped for 2 weeks.
Maybe more, dude.
That's a crazy thing that happened. Brazil, that's right.
It's absolutely absurd. I thought it was more than 2 weeks. I could be wrong.
No, it was probably more. It was probably more. Might have been 3 weeks.
Java here says, for me, Salah is the sloppiest. He scores amazing goals, though. I know where you're coming
I
from on
know what
that,
he means
and I've
too,
seen
yeah.
that. We've all seen that over the years. But I think what you'll notice is Salah's become a little bit more unselfish. He'll look to put in a through ball, an outside of the foot like
Yep.
cross, low cross, more often from like the edge of the box rather than dribbling down into that area where you can't really make much out of it, where you're in the 6 yard box, but you're also on the touch line there. Um, like the basically where he's got nowhere to go. So I think he's cleaned some of that up, but yeah, I mean the reward for him outweighs the risk as well. We're in a good spot offensively. I'm not worried about that. And our defense, say what you want about needing a holding midfielder, needing another center back, needing another left back, a right back, whatever. We've let up 10 goals in 12 matches.
A lot of
It's
that's down
pretty
to Allison.
remarkable.
A lot of that's down to Allison too.
Right. I mean, it's right. He'll probably I think he's second right now in clean sheets, maybe third. I think
Yeah, but he
John
leads the
Stone.
league in save percentage, and it's by a mile.
I know.
I think he's up near 80, and the second closest might be dude, I don't even know who the second is, but it's like 72%.
Yeah, he's up by a lot.
Huge gap.
But hey, he's part of the defense.
Right.
So we're lucky to have him. Um,
I know some Brazil fans were saying, imagine how many we would have scored against Colombia if we had Ederson in goal.
yeah. They
Because
well,
I mean, Allison was great in that game. I watched the highlights after I saw that Diaz scored, and Allison was making tons of saves.
was Bobby there or no?
I don't think so.
Well,
I
he
don't
just
think so.
he his book's officially released, I believe. So shout out to Bobby Firmino,
Like,
the most legendary player in the opinion of
Klopp
Kyle
era.
and I
I
ever.
feel like,
No, no, no. Our favorite player of all time.
well, that is obvious. That goes without saying, but easily in the Klopp era.
Yeah,
Guys,
an absolute
he has
legend.
anyone read the book, by the way? Has anybody read the book? Let me know.
I
Yeah,
bet Doug
Vicario.
has, maybe Liz. I don't know. I haven't. It's on my list, but I have about 25 books on my list that I already have. So
Yeah. You know what book
we'll see.
I'm like 50 or 60 pages from finishing? The Wolf of Wall Street.
Ooh,
Yeah,
is
because
it
I've
the
seen the
same
movie.
story as the movie?
It is, but it's way less graphic. Um, and the timeline is a little bit different, and certain aspects of the movie are changed. Like at the end, he punches his wife, but in the story, he like kicks her down the stairs.
Oh, jeez.
It's crazy stuff. But honestly, it's about 98% the same. And quotes are almost exactly the same too, which is pretty cool.
Do you follow
Rob
that guy
Scott,
at all now,
what's
Belfort?
that?
Do you follow him at all? Like,
I see him on podcasts, and that's about it.
yeah, he's still like pushing out podcasts and video content, and I mean, you have to. You got to do something. I don't think he's. I mean, he's rich, but like, just having a name like that
Yeah.
gives you an automatic audience.
But he owes the families like hundreds of millions of dollars. So he'll always be paying those back. I'm pretty sure he got found like guilty of uh bad sales practices or something.
Hmm.
I'll finish the book and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But it looks like Rob Scott says Bobby's having a shocker in Saudi. Um but
Java
Java
here.
here says I only read part of the book, which is about Salah's Mane's relationship. He describes it quite negatively.
I heard about
Ooh.
that. Yeah, and I'm actually kind of surprised, but also kind of not surprised, if I got to be honest.
I
Now
mean,
that I think about it.
we saw it out in play out in the field, bro. We saw that. Not all the time, but like you were guaranteed to see it like 2, 3 times a season where Mane or Salah just got fed up with like the other one taking a bad shot or something. And there's no better example than when Mane freaked out at Burnley. I mean, I feel like everyone remembers that. It was Burnley, wasn't it? Where
I
he
think
just like
so. But
he went off
I
the
never thought it was real. I always thought it was just like high tension and passion for the match. I didn't
right.
know there was actually like a personal vendetta that they had. And based on what Bobby said, there kind of was. He was basically saying like he was the glue that kind of held them together. Um, a lot of times when they were celebrating a goal, you can find a lot of images on the internet of him like hugging the two of them from the side and bringing them all in as a trio.
Oh,
Just yeah, like he's just like just another thing I'm not surprised that Bobby did. An absolute legend. But I'll tell you
damn.
what, Kyle, Mane is nowhere near Salah.
No, never was.
Nowhere near. But because he was in that Ballon d'Or conversation, 2020 maybe. What
It
did he
was the
finish? Second or third?
yeah,
Um, it almost like put him like kind of in the conversation with Salah. But in my opinion, he's not even close. He's great. He's a legend. He did great things for our club. Without him, who knows if we would have won anything, right? Crucial part of everything. But at the end of the day, like, look at what Mo Salah's doing still, and look where Mane is. And giving Mo Salah 350K a week, whatever we gave him, seemed like a risk at the time. We were all glad that we re-signed him because like it's not coming out of our pocket.
right.
But it turned out to be an unbelievable decision. He might be just getting better. His game has
He
changed.
he
You're
might be
not going
getting
to see
better.
those like necessarily. You might not see the snowy hat tricks anymore, right? But like he's become more of a facilitator. He's become less selfish, and he's still lethal at scoring. And Mane's in the Saudi league, making a ton of money, still doing great things for his country and things of that nature. But I don't know. He's still not the guy. He's never been the guy.
I think
He's
they
still living in
complemented,
Ronaldo's shadow now.
but I
So
think when he was at Liverpool, I feel like he complemented the team well because we've said this for years. He added that prolific like winger to the mix, to the three, because Bobby was the facilitator, Salah was the finisher, and Mane could just get past you, right? I think he added that, and he had seasons where he was up at near 20 goals, maybe past that. And I really want to read the book now because I would love to read the drama about that because by the looks of it, it seemed
just
like
order
everyone
it.
on the team were best friends.
Yeah, just order it. Oyvind says they were very equal from 2018 to 2020. I don't know about that. I might have to look into that.
Maybe on paper.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, Mane was pretty damn good. I'm never gonna say he was better than Salah, but I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because I know that you did say that he was never close, and I agreed with you. He was close for a period of time. I think Oyvind's right. From like 2018 to 2020, Mane was so good. But I think Salah always overshadowed him, and maybe that's what pissed Mane off. Maybe that's we're looking at like a Kyrie LeBron situation here. You know what I mean? Like Kyrie despised or he thought he could carry a team, which we know now is just completely false. And Mane maybe thought the same thing.
Well, here's the thing. Mane had like a surge where he got better and became really, really good. We always knew he was good, but he became
Yeah.
great in that time period. But he was spoken more highly of because of the trophy he won internationally, um, and because he increased his performance. When you think about Mo Salah, he was just that good and stayed that good. So it's not really as exciting to talk about. And that's where the comparisons come into play. Mane's like the hot new topic, scoring more goals, right? I think he tied for the Golden Boot one year, maybe with Salah and Aubameyang, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what happened. But he was like the hot new topic, and Salah was still doing what he does quietly. But
And
it
and still has been to this day.
right, and that's the thing. Longevity's key here. It's important.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
actually gonna
Salah
look up the
certainly
stats when
has
I get a
that.
chance.
Yeah, no, pull those up. I also want to bring up the fact, kind of changing gears here, that Everton were docked 10 points or this international break. And now I'm kind of optimistic about what's going on in the future with Chelsea and Man City, Steve. If Everton can get docked 10 points, which I had no idea they were being investigated. I must have missed that. And now they're down at 4 points mid-season just like that. What the hell could happen to Man City? Or do you even think anything will happen to Man City?
It's going to take a long time. And Chelsea's on the docket too. Um, there were some documents leaked or something with Chelsea, but here's the thing. Apparently, it's ultimately going to be like an independent commission that handles the full investigation, and it's going to take a while. So don't hold your breath. Something will happen. I don't know what, but it's not coming anytime soon, which is frustrating
Very.
because it look, here's the thing. Chip away at it. This is my thought process. Like Everton had what? One charge? 10 points. So start with one charge with Man City, and if you get through that charge, remove 10 points. Then go to charge number 2. Then remove 10 points.
The thing with that is,
That would be cool.
no, it would. It'd probably be easier, but do you know how long that would take? Because what is it, 115 charges? That's the number that they're
Yeah,
facing. They'd rather attack it at one time.
of course.
God, I would love to see Man City get docked points. Oh my God. And not even for Liverpool's sake. Honestly, it's not even for like, oh, we'll be ahead of Man City. No, for me, it's more like that's what you get. You cheating bastards. That's how I feel about it.
We'll see what happens. But I'm not holding my breath. I gave that up. It'll be a pleasant surprise someday when it all comes down.
Apparently, leaked documents show Roman Abramovich tried to sign players for Chelsea through illegal payments, which doesn't surprise me.
Tons of documents got leaked.
Really?
There's a whistleblower in London.
Well,
It's
enlighten
crazy,
me.
dude.
Fill
It's
me in,
crazy.
because I don't know
I
about this.
literally, what he said is what I know. I read an article and it talked about how FSG came in 2010 and there was a big push at that time from them and others to regulate what happened financially because Abramovich came in and changed the Premier League forever,
Yeah.
like his spending and whatnot. Um, and everything seemed to be going okay, but then there wasn't like many sanctions or penalties or anything like that. And then all of a sudden now Everton gets docked 10 points. Man City and Chelsea are under the gun. So it looks like things could be changing. We hope.
Hopefully.
What's going to
Hopefully.
determine that is what happens with Chelsea and City. But at the end of the day, there has to be regulations in place. Like you can't cheat.
It's
It doesn't fly. Look, here's the thing. 115 charges, I don't care like how many charges it is or how long it's going to take. If this happened in the National Football League or the NBA, this would take 1 month to complete.
yeah.
Like it's not that big of a deal.
Why is it such a big deal over there?
There are murderers and like people that commit fraud with hundreds of charges and the trials take 90 days for serious crimes.
Are they just not as efficient over there?
I don't know. No. I don't think it has anything to do with um like the location or anything like that, but I don't know, think about doping charges in the Olympics.
Right.
Like as soon as the charge comes, the player's banned from any country, runners, swimmers, whatever, banned. Why is this club allowed to just operate at a normal capacity when there's 115 pending charges? We've gotten into this and we've expressed our frustration. And again, we're just going to wait to see what happens. But it's just not like this in other sports. It's not. There's no excuse for it. There's plenty of money to go around. There's an independent commission that's apparently going to handle the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
They probably have plenty of resources. If not, give them more and get it done.
It's a
Just
really
get
good
it
point.
done.
It's a really good point about the Olympics thing. Now, the only logical thing I can think of is that it's a team sport, and they're not just banning one person. They'd have to ban the entire, like, just the collateral damage that would do to the fan base, the Premier League, and everything else. I think would create a lot of backlash. But I don't care. I'm just saying. I'm trying to play both sides of the coin here. You gotta ban people for breaking the rules. All right,
Dude,
until, like, it's almost like a suspension without pay pending investigation at work, right? So, like, say a cop discharges their firearm or something, right? And they need to investigate if it was rightly done. 2 weeks with pay, pending an investigation, and then they make a decision. But they can't do, I don't think they can do that to a team, bro, because then what do you have to do? You have to postpone all these matches. UEFA would be pissed because Man City and Chelsea are in Europe. Or no, Chelsea's not in Europe, but Man City is in Europe. That would screw everything up. You couldn't do that. There's too many there's UEFA, there's FIFA, there's the FA, there's too many moving parts. I feel like there's too many different agencies at play. Whereas, like, if you break the rules in the Olympics, it's one body that can just make the decision. So if Man City gets banned from the Premier League, they could probably still play in Europe. I think they all have to agree on the same front, which is why everyone just keeps playing.
well, they could play in Europe, but they're not going to get any tickets to the Champions League if they're relegated.
Yeah.
And Oyvind here says, Oyvind gives us a super chat. Thanks, Oyvind. He said,
Oh yeah.
strip titles, kicked out of the league, transfer banned for years, public apology. I think all those go without saying.
Yeah.
And when you say kicked out of the league, I think we're talking years, not relegated and a chance to come back up. They'd run through the championship, perfect season,
They
no doubt,
would.
no
Yeah.
doubt. I mean, maybe a loss here and there. Crazier things have happened, but
Did you see Leicester? Leicester burnt not Burnley. Leicester. Who got relegated last year? Help me.
yeah, they're pissed about the Everton thing, right?
Well, they're suing Everton for like 300 million. That's the
I love
article
it.
I saw.
I
I
love it.
love
Everton
that.
don't even have that.
Everton can't pay. They're breaking financial fair play, and now they got to deal with a $300 million lawsuit.
They're gonna if they'll survive this year, but they'll go down next year because their money's going to be tied up in so many things. They're not going to be able to get more players, and nobody's going to want to stay there because there's that black cloud hanging over the club. They suck, number two, and whatever. They'll have Pickford and a bunch of scrubs.
Yo, Pickford's never leaving that club.
But dude, here, ready? Take this. So Sandro Tonali, when did we hear about him gambling? When did that first break?
That broke like maybe 2 months ago.
Okay, he's already banned for 10 months.
Great example.
Ivan Toney, it happens, boom, 8-month ban, whatever it is.
But it's a single player.
Right. Okay, so let's just say it takes a month per charge. That's really long.
Yeah.
You should already be through a third of the investigation from City or whatever. It shouldn't take a month. Let's just 115 charges. Some of those are probably batched together. This news broke what, a year ago? Maybe
About
less?
maybe
Maybe
more than that.
less? Like the investigation starts before the charges get brought. So this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
The longer you let them stay up, the worse it is. I'd rather them hit them with 20 charges, come to a settlement, than spend years looking into 115. Because the integrity of the sport is in jeopardy. The longer they play, the more trophies they win, the more they keep other teams that are playing by the rules from trophies. We've thought about this, right? How many
And
times have
this
we come this close?
yeah.
How close could we be this year? They
We've
just won
never
the
been
Champions League.
closer. It's unbelievable how close a team will never be closer to winning the league than Liverpool were. Never.
A centimeter.
Literally a centimeter.
And the thing is, like, I don't blame the players. I blame the club and the manager and management. I don't look at Bernardo Silva, as much as I hate him, and say, "Oh, you're a cheater." I don't think that. It's the club. It's just dirty, dirty, dirty business tactics. And 115 charges, it's just like, I don't know, man. If a human was brought up on 115 charges, there'd be so many things in place that would
If
not. People have been brought up on that
if
many
a
charges.
human, if a human,
If a single person was brought up on that many charges, and it's happened many times, they would not be allowed to roam freely about the earth. They may not be locked up, depending on the severity of the
I
charges,
mean, if they meet
but
if
there
they
would.
meet their bail, right? If they meet their bail, they're out. But if we're talking about sports, you should leave it at the examples you had with Ivan Toney, with Sandro Tonali, with the Olympics doping. Everything you said was accurate. The difference with all of this is that there's multiple governing bodies at play. I think honestly that's what it comes down to. And not only that, but Angel says it here. Says City has a top legal team and it's much more complicated. So
Everybody has a
money.
top legal team. I don't think that matters.
No. But it's the money that it comes down to. Like if this is taken to court or whatever, all right. Man City just file motion after motion after motion and just keep the FA or whoever's filing the charges just in the courtroom and bankrupt them. Right? That's the unethical side of a fair judicial system. Is if you can keep people in court, then you can just run them dry and bankrupt them. So that's the risk they run with bringing clubs like Man City and Chelsea to court. Whereas you bring a club like Everton, who have no liquidity, no cash whatsoever, it's just immediate. That's why it was so quick. Dock 10 points. There you go. Because Everton was probably like, no contest. We'll just take it. Right? Seriously.
But I
And
don't
not
think
only
this is a
that,
regular trial. It's not like that.
no,
It's
it's a
not like
civil case. I
courtroom,
know.
judge, jury. Like, it's not like that.
You
So I
still,
don't think it's that serious. Like, I think it's more simple than people think.
when I say to court, I mean like lawyers meeting. Like with because there's still like a not a regulator. What are they called? Like quote unquote an officiant. Like if it's not a criminal trial, which it is, but I feel like this is what falls under more civil, right?
I don't know.
I'm not a lawyer. All I'm saying is that if you can
Fraud.
keep fraud, if you
What's
can
fraud?
keep
Fraud's criminal.
okay, so it's criminal, but you can keep the legal teams in like fighting the case, that still requires money. So it's you're just running the FA has their own legal department. They're just shelling out money to try to. I mean, it's just that's the if I was in Man City's position, that's what I would try to do. I would try to just shell out money until the charges were dropped. Now, of course, I wouldn't have cheated in the first place. But if I was in that position, if Man City hired me as the CFO today, I'd be like, all right, keep him in court, boys. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do.
Anyways, everybody feels the same way we feel. Get it done. Hurry up. Because every day that goes on is, and this sounds dramatic, but it's true. Every single day that passes, the integrity of the sport is jeopardized.
Yep.
And we forget about it, right? Like we turn on a Saturday match and watch the Reds and love it. And we check the Man City score and we check the table. We forget about it. It's so easy to forget about. But if you really take a step back and look at it, like the integrity of the sport is jeopardized every second of every day because of this.
Yep.
Figure it out one way or the other. Like these investigations, it's going to take years. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen in professional sports. It's not supposed to take this long.
In the court of public opinion, Man City and Chelsea are guilty. So
Right, and that's not enough.
no. But everyone
It's
knows
just not
it.
enough.
Tony, what's up, bro? Tony says, Man City probably factor in fines to their spending. It's unfair, but money talks. And that's essentially what I was getting at with keeping them in court. The more, as long as you have money, you're going to be able to battle it out. And Liz, this is even funnier. Everton self-reported. City have been in court. Everton just said, all right, guys, we can't afford any of this. Let's just turn ourselves in.
Hey, credit to them, actually.
Honestly, like, good for you.
I love that. I didn't even know that, Liz. Thanks for bringing that up. I love that. So if I hated Everton on a scale of 100, now it's like a 98. Hate them a little less.
All right, here we go. This
The
is where
fi-
we get.
the
This is where we're
finance the
getting into
airport
a
in
rabbit
Manchester
hole.
creating jobs is not just about football. They've developed the area around the stadium. Britain also has gas and oil ties with Qatar. It's complicated.
But it's not complicated.
Yeah, here's
Okay,
the thing. It's not the
it's
same, dude.
it's not like I get all of this, right? When you have all these ties, if anything, it's a conflict of interest and should make it easier to convict him.
Well, this
It's
this
not
is
complicated.
politics. What he's mentioning here is
It's
politics.
all it is. That's all it
But
is.
but it's not the same. It's just not the same. And we're not smart like these people that are fighting this battle are. So
Nope.
they know more than we do that it's not the same. Um I just don't feel like they got enough. I don't feel like there's enough pressure because again, we all just like let it go and we don't talk about it. Like I don't know, man.
There needs to
I
be
didn't think.
accountability. That's all it is. There needs to be accountability.
Anyway, speaking of City, how are we feeling about the match? Hayden wants to know. Hayden Poor, are any of you feeling optimistic about the City game?
I just
Where is
hate
the
that it's at
match?
7:30.
No, I know. Where is the match?
That's a great question. Hold on.
I can check.
I got it.
Angel
It's
says it's
at
bigger than football.
it's at Etihad. It's at the Etihad.
Okay. A little less optimistic now that I know that. Angel says it's bigger than football. That's the last thing I'll say about that. If it's going to be an independent commission, it's not bigger than football. That's the thing. It's not. It's not like your typical government district attorney crashing down for prosecuting something. This is an independent investigation. This group's sole job is this, nothing else. At the moment, at this current time. So it's not, in my opinion. But hey, maybe you're right. I there are other factors that come in, but they shouldn't, and I don't think they will.
Everton actually worked with the Premier League and were open. Man City just denying everything, and that's probably why it's taking so long. But again, moving forward to the Man City match. Yeah, Hayden says we haven't won at the Etihad since Coutinho left, and I don't care. Those
Shane,
stats are interesting, but I don't know. I don't think they matter too much.
I mean, the
Yeah, it's
whole
gonna be
crowd will be red,
no, it
50% or
won't.
more. So
No, it
Shayna
won't.
says Holland picking up an injury. He's actually fit. He's
Yeah, no,
fine.
he should be ready to go. He missed one international match, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be good to go.
Yeah, I think it was like more so for like a little bit rest. Like he's fine. He's playing.
Yeah.
But they're still down a lot of players, man. They're down a lot of players.
Who's out?
Last time I checked, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, who's out for Man City? Let us know. I think Rodri. I think Stones. Holland was he'll play. De Bruyne is out. I
Oh,
think
De Bruyne.
Ake.
Ooh. Yeah, they do have a lot out.
There's a couple more. They got a list. They got a list of like 10, dude.
And they're still putting out an amazing team.
Well, they do this every year, even when De Bruyne is out. De Bruyne misses games all the time. De Bruyne is
Yeah.
out for a few months, like every year, and they still do it. It just goes to show you that how much quality they have.
Oh,
When your
Mateus
best player.
Nunez.
Oh,
Apparently
Nunez.
down.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So.
And Hayden says, "Don't worry, they'll all be fit for our game." Yeah, some of this could be Pep's mind games. I don't know.
Dude.
I would be happy with a draw. I haven't said that in a long time, but I'd be fine with that.
Oh no, I'd take a draw too. I just don't want to lose.
Yeah, but I think we can win. I think we can win. It's just going to be a matter of defending in this one.
Yeah.
I feel like we can score one or two. It's going to be, can we keep a clean sheet or just hold them to one? That's going to be the biggest thing.
Which I don't know, dude. I know you said we've conceded 10 goals in the Premier League, which is low, but why does it feel like we give up the most chances in the Premier League? you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like the
even against like bottom sides. But
yeah.
I think we'll play a little different against City. We're not going to be dominating possession as much. I don't think we'll be as vulnerable on the counter attack. I don't think we'll push as many men forward. It'll be an end-to-end type of not so end-to-end. Like it'll be 50-50 possession. Maybe they may even have more possession. We might defend a little bit more.
I think they'll probably have more possession, to be honest. I think where we win this game is in the midfield battle because they're going to have chances, right? And we have to defend, just like we're going to have chances they have to defend. But we need, like, I think this is a game where you're putting Soboslai up against one of the players of similar quality, and you see the quality and capabilities of Soboslai of McAllister shine through, like those type of players. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think Klopp starts Endo in the 6 for this game.
That's what Rob Scott was just asking. Would you play Endo because he's more defensive?
100%. I'm putting Endo, McAllister, and Soboslai in for this game, and I don't think there's anybody else you can start. You need Endo. Endo's been phenomenal when he's played.
This is a different animal, man.
I don't I
I
don't
agree
care.
with you. He's been pretty damn good lately, but you know how Klopp is. You know how he's got players he truly trusts. Um, so I don't know. I don't hate. I'd be fine with that, but I don't
I
know what
think
he'll do.
that's I think
Uh,
I so I who said it here? Hayden. Hayden says they're going to target Mac if he's in the 6, and I agree. I think he gets exposed when he's playing 6 because he has too much defensive responsibility. When he's pushing forward, put all that on Endo. Endo can hold his own. Endo's strong. Endo can hold possession. Endo does what he's supposed to do in the 6 because he's a 6. You play Endo. I don't know if Gravenberch is going to be healthy by then. I don't know.
um,
But I still think you start McAllister and Soboslai.
it's. I think Curtis Jones is back, right? He's fit. I
Jones
wouldn't be
and
surprised to see him play. Klopp likes
he
Jones, man.
so he has started against Man City before,
He
but
started big matches.
I don't know, dude. To me, I think honestly, the two that you have to start are Soboslai and Endo. Like those are you absolutely have to start them. Where you have some wiggle room is like, do you start McAllister? Do you start Curtis Jones? Curtis Jones has been phenomenal this year. So is Gravenberch if he's healthy.
Yeah, I don't
But
think you start Gravenberch. I don't think you start him.
I
I
know,
think
neither
you're
do
right.
I.
I think we'll see McAllister play a little bit more forward and Endo sit back, which is good. I feel like we've been waiting for that. We've had to wait for Endo to come on to really get going. So I like
Yeah.
that actually.
And what about the attack? You start Nunez? I'm go. I I,
Yes,
I think you
yes.
start
Nunez,
Nunez.
Salah, and Jota, and then
Ooh,
Diaz
Jota.
coming in later.
Ooh. Okay, okay. So even with how Luis Diaz has been playing since his father's come back, right? He scored a goal for us. He scored 2 over international break. You're not doing Diaz.
I think he came off the bench versus Brentford.
He did.
Same. Do that again.
I think he starts. I think Klopp starts Diaz and he brings Jota off the bench.
Maybe Jota's a little bit more clinical. We may have less chances in a match like this. I feel like Jota can give you something. I
I,
feel like he can give you something.
no,
And
no,
then
no.
you
I
bring
agree with
Diaz
you.
in fresh legs at the 60th minute, 66th minute, and he can just burn people. That's what I would like to see.
It's a tough decision. It's a tough decision. What about defensively? I think Van Dijk and Kanate are the go-to.
Yeah, for sure. If everyone's fit, Van Dijk and Kanate. Um, Samikas,
You starting Gomez?
no, I'm starting Samikas. And Trent. See how
Yeah,
Samikas does.
yeah, yeah.
He's a
Maybe
good
put.
player. He's just been struggling, but he's a good player. We know that.
Yeah, he is, and maybe this game will kind of like motivate him.
Yeah, Oiven says I miss Robbo. Me too. This is the Robbo
Dude,
game. This has
you don't
Robbo written
realize
all
how
over it.
much you miss Robbo until Robbo's out for a while because he's never been out this long. I don't think. Like he's been
It's
out for a
rare.
few weeks. Like he injured his ankle. We thought he broke every leg in his or bone in his ankle, and he was out for like 2 games.
Yeah, and the good news about this injury is it's upper body.
Yeah.
So like
Yep.
the wheels are still tight on him, you know? He's still got it. This is just a freakish shoulder or whatever. So and if anything, he's getting some lower body rest and he'll come back fresh. But this has Robertson written all over it. That engine that'll go for 100 minutes and never stop and get in Rodri's face and scream at him. You know that
Yeah.
fire, that fire. And Samikas doesn't have that, but Samikas brings something different, and I think we'll see him play this game.
Samikas is a better dribbler. I'll say that. He can actually use his right foot. Jesus.
Barely.
He can use it. Robbo doesn't touch the ball with his right foot. It's actually impressive. The entire match, he'll never touch it with his right foot.
You see it like maybe once a month. He'll touch it with his right foot, and it's so ugly.
It's so bad.
It's the softest pass with the most side spin ever because he just doesn't even know how to hit it. He can't even connect with the ball with his right foot the right way.
What's actually impressive is that he can still play at this high a level in the Premier League using one foot.
I know.
It's pretty impressive. Yeah. Hayden says, I don't want Samikas against Bernardo Silva or Foden, though. Yeah, but, challenge him. Challenge him. Look at him in the face before you put him on the starting 11 and say, look, I need you to step up today. I need you to show me your quality. All right? Motivate the guy. Let him have a game because we know he's capable of playing a phenomenal game. He just hasn't shown it yet this season. Get in his face. Let him have it. Don't bench him for a big game because you're not confident in him. That'll damage his confidence even more. Let him play.
I mean, if they bench him for Gomez, I don't care. I'm fine with that. Whatever.
I mean, I'm fine with it, but if I'm just speaking strictly from the sport psychology standpoint, like, let him play.
Well, they already benched him once. So.
What game was that, though? Because sometimes you bench, if you don't have any options, you bench for
Was it
rest.
Toulouse?
Yeah, so no, that's different. So that's rotation. That's not benching. That's a rotational game. Look who started, or look who played in that game.
He was subbed off at half recently.
Oh, he was. Yeah. Damn.
It's not great.
No, that's not great. Last player subbed off at halftime that I can remember was what? Keita? Like, that's rare.
If you play Samikas, you have to play Jota because he's going to deliver crosses in, and you need someone that can get ahead on the ball.
That's a great point. Maybe that's why Luis Diaz starts.
You could be right.
Yeah. It was Macca versus Wolves. Oh, that's right. Damn. I spoke too soon. Yeah. Well, either way, we'll probably change our minds midweek once the World Cup qualifiers end because who knows what's going to happen then. I hate that we're playing the early matchup. This is a primetime game, and it should be later. But, Steve, do you have any score predictions yet, or you want to wait on that?
I'm going to wait on that.
Let's wait on that. We still got like a week, so we'll wait on that. Guys, we're back, and I appreciate everyone being here. I mean, it feels like forever since we've done a live stream. So, again, appreciate all you guys. Hayden, Liz, Oyvind, Rob, Tony was in here for a minute. Ross, everyone, you guys know who you are. Thank you very much. Steve, any closing thoughts?
No. Let's enjoy the rest of the break here, and hopefully we can hopefully we'll be talking about a win next Sunday.
Dude, I freaking hope so. That would be so epic. But I'm pumped. I'm pumped in the build-up, guys. All right, we'll be back making content this week, Reds. And until then, take care, guys.